When we look back at the ancient Semitic world and dig through the ruins to find the official historical record, we find a society strictly organized by a brutal hierarchy. Men functioned as the dominant leaders. Women, by design, were forced into submissive roles with almost no social autonomy. A woman's primary value to the society was tied to a single metric: her ability to provide sons for her husband. Giving birth to daughters was considered an event carrying little to no societal weight. This dynamic is cemented in Genesis, the definitive text written by men to document male lineage. Within this massive scroll, Jacob's daughter Dinah occupies barely a whisper of space, a literal footnote stripped of real agency. In her brief appearance, the text portrays her strictly as a voiceless victim of assault. When the patriarchs hold the pen, the authentic lives, the secrets, and the desires of the marginalized are simply paved over. Anita Diamond's novel, The Red Tent, breaks this silence. The resurrected spirit of Dinah reaches out directly across time to the modern reader. She insists that her traditional biblical depiction as a passive casualty is factually incorrect. She arrives to set the record straight, detailing the rich, complex, and unrecorded domestic realities of her family. By seizing control of the narrative, Dinah steps out of the margins. She transitions from an erased subject into the active author of her own legacy. To understand her true history, we have to bypass the grand narratives of the patriarchs and enter the domestic sphere. Dinah introduces her four mothers: Leah, Rachel, Zilpah, and Bilhah. The system demanded one thing from these women: an avalanche of sons to secure Jacob's power. Yet, away from their husbands' demands, these four women desperately yearned for daughters. They needed girls to help manage the domestic labor of their camps, and crucially, to serve as living vessels who keep their mothers' memories intact. Hoping for a girl in a society that only valued boys operated as a quiet, potent rebellion against a system designed to forget them. This rebellion found its home in the Red Tent. Officially, this was a menstrual tent, a space mandated by men to isolate women during their biological cycles. The women repurposed this isolation, building a sanctuary away from the eyes of men. Safe from male oversight, they traded stories. Dinah describes these as offerings of hope and strength. Inside this woven shelter, Leah, Rachel, Zilpah, and Bilhah educated Dinah, entrusting her with the alternate history of their family. The women inverted a structure built for quarantine, turning their forced isolation into a refuge for their own history. Dinah carried these teachings with her, successfully preserving her mother's lived experiences for the immediate next generation. But oral tradition is fragile. Without institutional power to write them onto scrolls, the specific, intimate details of their lives faded into the earth. Speaking to us now, Dinah expresses gratitude that modern readers are finally unearthing her true narrative. Because the official record always defaults to the powerful, the survival of any marginalized voice requires constant, active preservation. The prologue establishes that sharing and passing on these personal histories provides the agency that the official records deny. Dinah spells it out as a guiding rule. The more a daughter knows the details of her mother's life, the stronger the daughter. She promises to pour out everything she has kept inside, hoping that anyone who listens will step away from her story feeling satisfied. But more importantly, she wants us to leave her table feeling fortified, armed with the endurance of the women who came before us. Uncovering and sharing our intimate family histories actively strips authority away from the top-down narratives that dictate whose lives matter. Reclaiming erased history serves as an active, enduring defiance. It ensures that the vital, complex lives of these women will never be reduced to mere footnotes ever again.